What's going on, everybody? I am back today to talk about another Shudder film that's currently streaming on the service. I've been wanting to just watch some fun horror movies recently, and so I thought it would be fun to check out one that I had not seen before, and this movie was an absolute blast. And the movie I'm going to be talking about today is Bloody Hell. Bloody Hell is directed by Alister Grierson. A man with a mysterious past flees the country to escape his own personal hell, only to arrive somewhere much worse. In an effort to survive this new horror, he turns to his personified conscience. So this movie stars Ben O'Toole as Rex, who the film opens on. He's going into a bank and he's waiting in line, and there's this young woman behind the counter who he's clearly trying to have a conversation with. And he finally gets in her line, and when he gets ready to start talking to her, these guys in animal masks come in to rob the bank. Well, when they get in there, the camera kind of goes a little nuts. You see him go and grab one of the guy's shotguns, and he starts killing the bank robbers. Well, it cuts to a court case. Obviously, he was heroic. He saved all the people in the bank, but he acted recklessly, and he did something that causes him to get 8 years in jail. We're not 100% sure what it is that he did, but he is sentenced to 8 years in jail. And when he gets out of jail 8 years later, he is this like celebrity. Essentially, people are upset that he was put in jail. They think he's this hero, and he can't stand the celebrity spotlight. So he decides he wants to get away. And when he's in jail, he's shooting spitballs at this map, and he's constantly hitting Finland. And so he decides to go to Finland. Well, at the beginning of the film, we see this little girl who's running through Finland, and there's this monster noise in the background and these people running around. We don't really know what's happened. So when he gets to Finland, there's these people in the airport who are acting really strange towards him, and they're flying to Finland at the same time. And he gets there and he gets in this taxi, and the taxi driver gasses him and he passes out. And when he wakes up, he's in the basement of this house, and his leg has been amputated. And the whole film is him having a conversation with his conscience, who is like a younger version of himself personified, and how to get out of this circumstance and how to survive. And we're introduced to the family who has kidnapped him, that for some reason they're keeping him captive and they need to harvest his organs. And there's the girl at the beginning of the film who was a very young girl, is now grown up. She's an adult, but she's treated horribly by the rest of her family. She lives with her father, mother, her two older brothers, and then her youngest brother. And the film is trying to figure out why these people are keeping him captive, and if this girl is going to be willing to help him escape. And I just thought this movie was an absolute riot. It was hilarious. It was over the top. It was ridiculous, but I enjoyed it a lot. It was super fun. There's obviously some moments of the screenplay that weren't perfect, but I really liked the back and forth dialogue between our lead character Rex and like the personified version of himself. It was really like Evil Dead 2 Sam Raimi-esque goofiness that I can really appreciate. The violence in this film is elevated. It never gets to like a super elevated moment, and the third act climax is relatively quick and very goofy, but I appreciated that. I feel like that is exactly what this director wanted to do, was kind of play into this goofiness and this over-the-top nature of the subject matter of this film, because it's a really ridiculous plot, and a lot of the film takes place in one room. Our lead actor is tied up in this basement, and he's trying to figure out how to get out, and that's where we spend a large portion of the film. And because the lead character Rex, played by Ben O'Toole, is such this like charismatic and interesting individual, it's really easy to watch. And what I like is the way that the information about the bank robbery is slowly conveyed to you as the audience member. It's not just like ham-fisted exposition. There's a reason for why each bit of information is conveyed to you as the audience member, and that's something that I can really grow to appreciate, is when you have these films that have a more simplistic premise, but rather than it just be ham-fisted exposition, the director really takes their time to find interesting ways to show you bits of information throughout the film that keep you invested and keep you engaged. And I thought this movie did a fantastic job of that. And like I said, the third act blows up into this absolute chaos that I was never expecting. But what I like too is, other than our lead character Rex, you have the young daughter Alia, played by Meg Fraser, who has this really like interesting story as to what's going on with her family and why she is being mistreated by her family members, and just kind of the horrible things that she's had to go through and the dynamic between her and her family. And I thought that it was cool that you got her background as well. And obviously you have this really goofy kind of like romance bud between the two lead characters that's so elevated and out of this world, and it's like doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but you're willing to kind of suspend your disbelief just because of how entertaining and ridiculous the subject matter is to this film. And I just had a lot of fun with it. I didn't think that it was the greatest movie ever made, but it was exactly what I would have expected out of a movie like this. And I think that it's a film on Shudder that if you have a subscription, it's 100% worth watching. It's so ridiculous, it's so fun, and I would 100% watch this movie again. So have you seen Bloody Hell? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought. I thought this movie was an absolute blast. It was ridiculous, it was over the top, and it was exactly what I wanted with a film like this. As always, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, it helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.